away from this. People don't walk away from rollover accidents. Animals, they get loose, they die, but not us. I'm here at location where this incident happened. We normally provide you with things that are going to help you get tools and skills to have a great relationship with your dog. But today, it's a different story. It's my story. And I never want it to be your story. It was an absolutely gorgeous day. I was so excited that Norby and I were gonna get the opportunity to do barn hunt, to let him sniff out rats and have fun with my dog, and it all changed in an instant. It's difficult to be here today because of what happened. But it's so important to me that you hear our story so that you can be safer when you're out with your dogs doing fun things. We were here on this road in Brazelton, headed to our first class. We were 1 minute away. And all of a sudden, we were struck by someone who just didn't see us coming. That specific incident caused my forerunner to flip several times. I was actually coming down this way, headed up the hill. And this woman, unbeknownst to her, I was still on my way past her. She was coming out of this subdivision. And she hit me in the rear passenger side of my vehicle. And I can still remember how it felt and the sounds. We flipped multiple times, so I'm told. The airbags deployed, and we landed over where that white sign is. We landed actually facing this way into the street. As soon as my vehicle stopped, and keep in mind, I was fully awake. I didn't lose consciousness. I literally thought my vehicle was on its side, and I was just skidding along, bumping against the airbag. As soon as we stopped, all I could think of is, this has just ruined my whole day. I had plans. We were going to barn hunt class. Norby and I were gonna have a great afternoon together. As soon as I saw where we were, and volunteers or pedestrians just came and took care of us, I couldn't even open my car door. I couldn't check on my dog. Sweet precious Norby had no idea what had just happened. Once I was able to assess that I was safe and I had people checking on me, these wonderful people, they asked if I needed anything, and I immediately wanted them to check on Norby. I didn't want them to get him out because I didn't know if he was traumatized or worse. They opened up the hatch of my forerunner, and it wasn't a very pretty sound. The person had actually hit my vehicle where Norby's crate was. I told them his name, and they told me he was okay. A little shooken up, but he was all right. What a relief. It was unbelievable. Nothing had actually processed for me at that point. Oddly enough, my friend and fellow trainer, Rachel, was on her way to watch us do our first barn hunt class. She was only a minute or two behind me. I immediately asked them to find my phone, to call her to say that I was okay, that we were okay. That way she wouldn't freak out when she pulled up and saw all of the emergency vehicles and all the cars stopped and the way my vehicle looked. When the EMTs arrived, they let me climb out of my vehicle on the passenger side through all the glass, all the debris, even the chicken nuggets that I had gotten for Norby as part of his reward for class. They were gone. He couldn't eat them anymore. They were full of glass. They got me out. I was very unsteady. I had Rachel get a hold of my husband to tell him I was okay. And then I sat on this rock here. And I sat there for quite some time just to get stable and start processing what had happened. We survived this. No. We walked away from this. People don't walk away from rollover accidents. Animals, they get loose, they die, but not us. And why that is, of course, there could be divine intervention, but we also took safety precautions. You know, our dogs have ridden in wire metal crates forever. It's just what we did, it's what we had. They would be in the back of the truck, or, you know, they'd be in the middle, and they wouldn't be secure. And back when, you know, the world kind of shut down for the pandemic in the spring of 2020, I started thinking about, like, we travel so much with our dogs, we love doing so many things with our dogs, and I started learning about these kennels, these Ruff Land Kennels that are designed for accidents, and I thought, you know what, heaven forbid we ever get in an accident. You know, I'm thinking someone runs into us, or, you know, something minor, definitely not to this level. I'd really like to have those kennels for our dogs, you know, to feel safe and secure, and to know that if anything were to happen, they wouldn't be bouncing around. You know, these kennels are designed so that they take the impact. And what's crazy is, even though Canine Country Academy we were pulling for pennies back then, I invested in those crates. They're $200 and up. I just couldn't imagine if we got in an accident and they weren't secure, what would happen. And believe it or not, it happened. And it could happen to any of us. I was wearing my seatbelt, I was paying attention. I actually saw that this person was starting to come into my lane. Not a whole lot I could have done about it, but I share my story to let you know we're okay, we're healing. You know, I walked away with several bruises on the left side of my body, some soft tissue injuries, and I'm healing, emotionally and physically. No one else was involved, which is, as you can see here, it's very busy. And Norby only had a bit of a sore rib. You know, our physical therapist saw him, and we had a baseline, so we knew that this little athlete of ours only had this minor thing. And he didn't even know what happened. He was a little shooken up, you can imagine. It's weird. But that kid, he got back in that car. He's been on trips since. He's ready to go. Maybe more so than I am. And because I'm a crazy dog lady, there was a little bit of time left in our barn hunt class. And I was okay. I was walking around, you know, I had lots of adrenaline. Norby was okay. And we went to our first barn hunt class just down the road. And it was only a few minutes. My arms started getting sore, and, you know, everything was starting to sink in. That adrenaline was fading. But we still did the thing. So before you get in your car again, make sure you're paying attention, make sure you're wearing your seatbelt, you know, you're doing the right thing. I couldn't have changed this circumstance myself just by being somewhere else is the only way. But really think about how your dog is traveling in your vehicle. And if you were to get hit, even minorly, where would they be? Would they be safe in your car?